If you have a toddler, chances are you've been hit by your toddler or you've watched your toddler hit. And I know it's shocking, it can be embarrassing. And what we tend to do as parents is we tend to think, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with us. I'm raising a mean child. Or, I've got a very defiant kid on my hand. That's just going to be a big behavior issue. And what I need you to hear is none of that is true. You're not raising a mean child. Your child isn't out to get you. They're not being defiant. They're just being a toddler. And that's what we're going to talk about here today. We're going to talk about why hitting happens and what you can do about it. Welcome to the Thriving Toddler. I'm Gretchen, your toddler decoder and expert in toddler behavior and early childhood development and growth. So when toddlers hit, the first thing I see is emotional regulation. That is the skill that's underneath the hitting. When they hit, it's their way of their body feeling big emotions that they don't know what to do yet. And so the automatic response is typically a hit or maybe a bite, something, or a throw of a toy, because their nervous system is saying, I don't know what to do. I'm freaking out, so I'm gonna hit. It is a stress response. It is not them trying to be defiant on purpose. It is not them trying to be mean or trying to hurt you. You haven't been shown what to do. Most mainstream parenting advice is very reactive. So they like to tell you what to do after your child hits. And it might be a timeout or a discipline or a do this or hit him back or whatever. And that's just not ever going to fix, that's never going to fix the behavior. What fixes the behavior is teaching the skill. There's always a skill behind it that matches the behavior. So when I see a hitting toddler, I see, oh, it's an opportunity. They don't know emotional regulation. When I see a clingy toddler, I'm like, oh, they don't know independence yet. They don't feel safe being apart from their parent. That's really what we need to start connecting the dots on and really become a toddler decoder. We can decode the behavior. So often we see behavior and we think, oh, it's bad, hitting or biting or tantrums or meltdowns. Those are behaviors, but there's also a lot of good behaviors we can see too, like independence and confidence and resilience and positive approaches to learning. And we teach those behaviors through play because they're all skills just waiting to be developed. And the window for development is toddlerhood. So we think toddlerhood is the terrible twos and it's chaos. I'm gonna invite you to press pause on that. And the reason we feel that way is because we've been taught to react instead of, let's decode that behavior and figure out really what's going on, because all behavior in children is some sort and some form of communication. What can you do in the moment? So you've got your toddler just hit you or you watched your toddler hit someone else. The first thing you're gonna do is press pause and regulate your body. You're not going to react, because when you react, your little one is going to borrow your same nervous system. We have to keep in mind that their nervous system is still developing. And so they're either going to borrow your calm or they're going to borrow your chaos. And they're looking to you to see how you're going to react, which is why if you've ever freaked out on your toddler, or you say, don't you ever hit me, or don't hit me again, or we don't hit, they often go ahead and hit again. That's because they're still dysregulated. Another thing we can do is we can name without shame and blame. And so it's just very simple. They took your toy. I bet that didn't feel good. So what we can do is say, they took your toy. It looks like you're frustrated. I see that you're mad. I see that you're angry. And what we can do then is offer something different. So let's say, no, thank you. Or let's stomp our feet because we don't feel good right now. We know that our hands are for hugging and not hitting. And that's a very common phrase I use with all families that I coach. What I've used in the classroom, what I used on my own children, is a positive way to reframe using our hands, and it's hands are for hugging. Remember, behavior is communication. It is not something to stop. It is something to build. What we do is we teach outside. We teach during play. What I teach and how I teach you to decode is to spend 10 minutes a day in an intentional play routine. Because when you do that with your children, you are setting them up for success. You are teaching them the skills. For example, pretend is a great way to engage your child in play that is going to teach emotional regulation almost every single time you play. It is never in the moment that we're doing the teaching. We can kind of guide and plant a seed in the moment, which is what we do when we say hands are for hugging, or I see you're frustrated right now, let's stomp it out. Those are little things we can do in the moment. It's just a little seed. It's just a little helpful thing in the moment. It's outside of the moment is where our power really lies, in those 10-minute intentional play routines, teaching the skills. And we do it every single day, 10 minutes a day. And that's where we build connection and calm and skills. You don't need to do timeouts. You don't need to do discipline. You don't need to force any type of thing. You just need to teach the skill, and you practice it through repetition during the toddler years in a 10-minute intentional play routine. Here's what I want to tell you. You're not failing at this parenting thing. What I know to be true based on my experience teaching for 25 years and raising my own children and working with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of families and children, what I know to be true is you just were never shown. You were never handed a plan. You were never said, oh, okay, so really what's happening in the toddler years is they're just brand new to this world and I've got an opportunity. It's actually my responsibility to teach skills. These are when the can-do skills are formed, and I refer to them as can-do, so think about them like this. I can be independent. I can be a problem solver. I can be a critical thinker. I can have impulse control. I can have positive approaches to learning. I can handle my big emotions. Those are all the can-do skills. They're built in toddlerhood. No one tells you that. They just say, oh, okay, well, we're going to try using safe hands, or we're going to repeat it over and over again. Nice hands, nice hands, nice hands, or we're going to model. While those things are helpful, that's not how our little ones learn. Our little ones learn through play and practice and repetition. Got some things for you. If you want the step-by-step plan, that's called the Thriving Toddler Blueprint. I will link that below for you. You can just start right in there and you can begin learning today. It has a lot of information around toddlerhood, and then it also gives you the exact 10-minute play plan of how to set it up, what to say, everything's in there. If you're like, I don't know if I'm ready for something that big, I do have my Play to Skills freebie. And then I do have a free quiz if you're wondering, like, is my child delayed? I don't know. Are we on track? And then another freebie I have for you is a free 12-minute mini workshop, decoding toddler behavior. So those are some things. I'll have them linked below for you. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to me. My inbox is always open. You can also feel free to comment here and I will get back with you. So thanks for being here. Next time, we're going to be talking about clinginess and independence.